About 3 weeks ago, I had surgery on my left shoulder after I injured it playing basketball. Initially, I figured it was just sprained or maybe dislocated because I had dislocated the other one about 4 years ago. So when I finally went to the doctor, I figured he'd just tell me to just ice it, get some rest, stay after court, and he'd give me some pain meds. And in a couple of weeks, I'll be good to go. But after he did some strength tests and I realized I couldn't move my arm to the side or I couldn't raise it, he looked me straight in the eye and said, "I think you tore your rotator cuff." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And he said, depending on the severity of the tear, you'll need surgery because if it's a full tear, it won't heal by itself. And I'm like, surgery? So he went ahead and scheduled an MRI for 2 days after that. And I remember leaving the office in a daze. And all I kept doing between then and the MRI appointment was just Googling rotator cuff surgery. I just kept seeing story after story of people saying it was some of the worst pain they've ever had in their life. How the pain lasted for weeks. Some people said the pain lasted them months. A lot of people said they couldn't sleep. People were saying the pain meds weren't working. Some people said they tried to ice it, that wasn't working. It just seemed like a whole lot. And eventually the MRI appointment came around and I just kept asking God, like, please, just let it be a sprain. Just let it be something that's minor. And I remember it was scheduled for 7 p.m. on a Wednesday night. And the results came back bright and early the next day and it confirmed my rotator cuff tendon was completely torn. So in the coming days, I met with a surgeon to go over the process and whatnot. And I really like how confident he was, but he did confirm that the recovery process would have its challenges. He said based on the MRI results, I'd probably be in a sling for 6 weeks. I'd have to sleep in that sling, semi-upright. But he said if I stuck to the physical therapy and did everything I needed to do, in about 4 to 6 months, I should be back to normal. 4 to 6 months. So eventually surgery day came around. And the last thing I remember about that day was them giving me sedatives before they numbed my arm. But when the anesthesia finally started wearing off, I remember being in the couch with my sling on and being weirded out that my arm was completely numb. And I remember 5:30 the next morning, I woke up because I began to regain feeling in my fingers. And initially I thought that was a good thing until the numbness wore off in my whole arm. And that's when the pain kicked in. And I remember I woke up, Jen told her, and she immediately got the pain meds. And initially the meds worked, but after a while, pain came back. And it came back stronger and more intense. And I remember I couldn't even keep still. I went on the couch. I went in the dining room. I stood up. I leaned up on the wall. I went back in the bedroom, in the bed. I tried all these different things just to ease the pain and nothing was working. And I remember going back on the couch and putting on some praise and worship music and just talking to God out loud and just asking, like, Lord, just please take this pain away, please. And after a little while, I remember in that moment, the Holy Spirit just saying to me, reach out to your brothers in your men's E group and tell them to pray for you. And I was like, I don't really want to do that. Because you know how us men are. I don't want to look vulnerable. I don't want to look like I'm looking for pity. I don't want to look weak. But the Spirit said again, reach out to your brothers and tell them to pray for you. Do that right now. So reluctantly, I grabbed the phone. And I went to the group chat and I said simply, I'm in a lot of pain, my brothers, please pray for me. And I put the phone down. And the music continued to play. And next thing you know, my phone starts going off. One by one, the responses kept coming in. Some writing prayers in the group chat, some saying they're praying for me. One of the guys even said he told his kids and they were praying for me. And that really touched me because it was like, wow, people are really being like serious and intentional about this, and it really moved me. And the next thing you know, I kid you not, the pain just left. And it didn't just leave then. It's been 3 weeks since the surgery, and the pain never came back. I've been completely pain-free ever since then. And in that moment, I feel like God wasn't just trying to prove that he could heal my body, but he also wanted to show that he could heal my perspective as well. He wanted to show me that praise and worship wasn't just about singing songs. It was about obedience. And one of the main ways he blesses us is not by just giving us things, but by giving us him. And that's why Psalm 22:3 means so much more to me right now. When it says, he inhabits the praises of his people. When he talks about praises, it's not just our verbal praises or when we sing songs. It's that praise, that sacrifice of praise and worship when we give him something that means something. He comes close to those who intentionally put their trust in him. So today, whatever it is that he's asking you to sacrifice, Whatever it is he's asking you to give to him, that might be a difficult thing to give up. Give it to him. Whatever that thing is, even if you don't feel good about it, give it to him. He will honor your obedience. He wants to come close to you. He wants to give you his joy and his peace and his fulfillment. He wants that for you. He wants to be close to you. And he doesn't want to just give you things. He wants to give you him. And he showed me that once you have him, you have everything. That's all I got. Be encouraged. God bless.